Have you ever dealt with a client that you wanted to record your conversations with so that way when they change their minds and tell you that they didn't change their minds, you can prove them wrong with that recording? Well, in today's video, we're going to be talking about whether or not you can record telephone calls with your clients. Stick around. Hey out there, everybody. Welcome back to Wedding Industry Law. My name is Rob. I am a wedding industry attorney. And in this video, we're going to be talking a little bit about the idea of recording our calls with our clients and whether or not there's any type of legal ramifications to that. So before we get into it, though, as a caveat, what I'm talking about in this video, okay, is recording phone calls in which you are one of the people on the phone call and the other person on the other end of the line is your client. Okay. That's the scenario that we're talking about. I'm not talking about, some espionage stuff where you're recording a phone call that you're not a part of. Okay. I'm not talking about wiretapping. I'm not talking about like Big Brother stuff. Literally, you have your cell phone, you're talking to your client. Can you record that conversation? That's what this video deals with. And again, this is for educational purposes only. Do not, on your way to jail for violating federal wiretapping laws, go, Rob told me that I could do this, because I did not. This video is for educational purposes only. If you want to start recording phone calls, you're going to need to talk to somebody in your local jurisdiction, and I'm going to tell you why here in 1 second. So, what are the laws that apply to the scenario that I just laid out, talking to your client on the phone? So we all know from listening to this video series with the Wedding Industry Law is that we are typically governed by 2 layers, possibly 3 layers of laws. The top layer is federal law. So federal law says that as long as one of the parties, being you, to that telephone call knows that the phone call is being recorded, then it is okay under federal law. We call that one-party consent. One party consenting to that phone call being recorded, party to the call, okay? It's the person that's recording, that's consenting, is actually a participant in the conversation. Again, not a situation where somebody is recording a phone call that they're not a part of as a participant. Okay. So that's one-party consent. That's federal law. But these type of situations are also governed by state law as well. And that's where you have 50 different states that have 50 different requirements for that. So many states, in fact, I would even say most states, are like the federal government. They are one-party consent law. So it'll fall the same way. If you're in a one-party consent state, then as long as you are participating in that phone call with the client, you can record it and not run afoul of any statutes or any laws, even if the client does not know that they are being recorded. As long as you are a party to that, you're both located within that state that is one-party consent, then you will typically be okay. All right. So you are a participant. You know that it's being recorded on the phone. You know that you are both located in a one-party consent state. Then typically you're going to be okay. Now, there are some states, okay, that are what's called two-party consent. That means that every participant in that phone call needs to know that it's being recorded. Every participant needs to know that it's being recorded. Otherwise, it cannot be recorded. So by way of example, I know that in Georgia, that's a one-party consent state for the most part, and California is a two-party consent state for the most part, meaning that it'll be illegal for you to record a phone call in which one of the participants does not know that it's being recorded if you're in California, or in Georgia, it's okay if one of the parties doesn't, as long as you are participating and you know. So again, if you're in a one-party consent state and the person you're talking to is in that state as well, you should be okay to record. If you're in a two-party consent, everybody's got to agree. Now, why would you even want to record a phone call with your client? Well, there are two primary reasons why recording a phone call might be beneficial for you. The first one is evidence as a record. So if the client is consistently telling you false things, or if the client is doing something wrong and you want to make a record of it, typically in courts of law, what a party to a lawsuit says can be used against them. So if you have that individual saying things that are going to be against their interest, you can show that to the judge or the jury in the case for the most part, most of the time. Now, there will be some exceptions to that, but for the most part, you can use their words against them. And what better way to use their words against them is when you have a recording of them. So the other reason why recording phone calls can be beneficial is for the purpose of taking note. So for example, if you are a planner and you're on a two hour phone call with the client, you, rather than have to worry about making notes, it might be good to record the phone call and just be more in the moment. So that's just one benefit of recording these conversations. Of course, in that instance, there would be nothing wrong with telling the client, hey, I'm recording you just so that I don't have to take notes. Is that okay? But whatever floats your boat. So those are the two ways in which I find the most common reasons for recording the conversations. But again, this is one of those dicey things where the disclaimer, I'm saying it again, that do not rely on this video alone to record your conversations. You will need to speak with somebody in your jurisdiction to make sure that it is okay. Okay. I just wanted to put this general information out there that it's going to depend on whether you are located in a one-party consent state or what is called a two-party consent state. I hope that you found this video informative. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. Do you ever record your conversations with your couples? I want to know, because that's interesting, because sometimes I do, but typically it's for quality assurance purposes, not some nefarious thing. But anyway, new videos out every week. If you have a suggestion for content, please let me know. In fact, this video is a result of somebody reaching out to me and wanting to know whether or not they could record somebody. So this is a result of that. So if you've got something that you want me to talk about, let me know. New videos, like I said, every Monday. And with that, folks, we will see you next time.